Castelletto di Branduzzo, the second round of two, the 2019 WSK Open Cup. Welcome to our live broadcast of the second last event of what has been a fantastic 2019 WSK season. We raced 2 weeks ago at WSK at Lonato, and we're here 2 weeks later under a very grey, overcast sky at Castelletto di Branduzzo, south of Milan, for the second round of this two-event series. Another international field. We're missing the KZ category. They'll be back in a week's time at Adria for the final cup. But before we get there, we've got three fantastic finals to race, starting with the OK Junior category in just a moment. It's a 16-lap final. The American Ugo Ugochukwu will start on pole position for Ricky Flynn Motorsport. We'll go through the grid in its entirety for you. On the outside of the front row of the grid will be Andrea Antonelli, who's driving for Team Rosberg Kart Republic. The 2016 Formula One World Champion Nico Rosberg even dropped into the circuit yesterday to pay us a visit and check out his young chargers, including young Andrea. We spoke to Nico Rosberg here at Castelletto just a few moments ago. Nico Rosberg.
No, it's nice to be here. I mean, I like supporting the young generation and to watching them race, and they are doing amazing performances. So it's nice, and also a lot of old friends still, with especially with Dino Chiesa here from Kart Republic. To have the team together is lovely. Yeah, of course. This is where I grew up, in this environment. Every year I was racing here in Italy, and now to have my own team together with Dino is really fun, and we're doing really well as well. We became vice world champions this year, and now we're leading the Open at the moment, so it's great. It's so important. All of us, we learn in go-karting, and the Formula One champions of the future, they're out here at the moment, because here's the best in the world. So it's really, really valuable.
The 2016 Formula One World Champion Nico Rosberg, who actually raced for Dino Chiesa back in the late 1990s, early 2000. That was in the glory days of 100cc when he raced for TeamMBM.com aboard various karts, including the DC1, the Paralin, and of course for CRG. He's got his own team here in partnership with Dino, who you saw during that interview as well, including Andrea Antonelli, who wrapped up the WSK Euro Series earlier on in the series. There is the boy from Bologna to the right of your screen. He has been in dominant form. He won the pre-final this morning, but Ugo Ugochukwu also won his pre-final, which was run marginally faster. That means the American starts on pole position. Before we race the 16-lap final, we'll check out some of the highlights of what has happened thus far this weekend at Castelletto di Branduzzo. Row of the grid. You can see the track is drying. Yesterday we raced in a little bit of sunshine briefly. It has been bitterly cold. The rain only let up 24 hours ago, but the track is largely dry. We are at 8 degrees Celsius officially, although personally I really doubt that. It is Well, it feels like it's freezing. The fog has hung over the circuit. It is called Pista Sette Laghi, which literally translates into the Circuit of Seven Lakes. We're surrounded by water here south of Milan, which means the humidity is incredibly high. You take a breath of air and yeah, the condensation, you can see it as you breathe out. It won't be a concern to the drivers on the grid at the moment as soon as they race. That is one of the Seven Lakes in the background, which edges the paddock here. As soon as they race, it'll be all about the adrenaline. The American to the left of your screen from New York, USA, Ugo Chuko for Ricky Flynn Motorsport, and Andrea Antonelli to the right of your screen from Bologna, the city that bought us the Lamborghini supercar for Team Rosberg Kart Republic. Antonelli in the FA Kart 327. He's powered by the Vortex. Antonelli by the Iami. There to the center of your screen is the Dutchman Robert De Haan in the Energy Car. Took a couple of heat wins. It's been in fine form. Igor Čepel just behind him from the Czech Republic. Robert De Haan, who 12 months ago won the Rotax Max Grand Finals. This year he's been racing in OK Junior competition, and he's still a chance to take out the WSK Open Cup here this afternoon. As it stands, the series point score looks like this. Antonelli first on 147 points. Severukian Artem from Yekaterinburg in Russia, 104 points. Martens, he's third on 90 points. Nikita Bedrin and Ugo, who starts on pole position, both tied for fourth on 77 points. Then it's Marcus Ahmad on 68, Diego Kontech at 55, and the Dutchman Robert De Haan that we just spoke of on 46 points. Still possibly can take the series. It's a long shot, but he's certainly aiming for the victory here this afternoon in the Energy Kart. One of the taller drivers in the field. When it rained yesterday, he was in fantastic form. Used his height, used his body weight quite intelligently to extract every bit of speed he could out of the TM-powered Energy. Starts on the inside of the fourth row of the grid, one spot behind Jimmy James Wharton. From Melbourne, Australia, the Eastern Lions Kart Club had a forgettable week 2 weeks ago at Lonato, but he's in superb form. Led the pre-final earlier on this morning. Starts on the inside of the third row of the grid. There are 34 karts on the track. Still a few moments before the start of the second and final round of the WSK Open Cup for 2019. Incidentally, a couple of things to point out for you. Yes, we race next week at Adria Karting Raceway for the final time in 2019. The WSK Final Cup in the KZ Gearbox category will rejoin us for the final event of the year. Adria is where we finish 2019. Adria is where we start a brand new 2020 WSK season, January 26. In the new decade, it's the Champions Cup for 2020 at Adria Karting Raceway. And a week after that, the WSK Supermaster Series to kick off the new season. Followed by the WSK Euro Series, which gets underway at Circuito Internazionale Napoli, that's Sano, as the girls leave the circuit and head for the warmth. You can see how quickly they're leaving the track. It is really cold here at Castelletto. All the information, the 2020 WSK calendar is available on the official website. Check out wsk.it. We'll see you not only next weekend at Adria Karting Raceway, south of Venice, but also for a fantastic 2020 season. So we count down to the start. It is 16 laps, exactly 20 kilometers. One lap is 1,256 meters of this Castelletto di Branduzzo circuit. The karts are pushed into life. Here we go. Ugo, the American, on pole position. Everyone gets away from the grid without a problem. This will be one absolutely cracking affair as we look at the grid. Ugo Chuko on pole, Antonelli 2, Ahmad 3, and Artem Severukian 4. Jimmy James out of 5 alongside Martins Tensone. The Dutchman Robert De Haan, and from Moscow in Russia, Alexander Gubenko. Igor Čepel and Nikita Bedrin, who's fourth in the series. Ahmad Lindblad and o menino do Brasil, the boy from Brazil, Matias Ferreira. The Singaporean Christian Ho, Timit Kuhacic, Ariel Elkin and Aidan Neat. Maxwell Dodds, the Sicilian Alfio spinner, Charlie Wirtz, the Austrian, on the 10th row of the grid, alongside Konrad Lausen, Kasper Stuka, Jonathan Weber, Bergström, Pascevic, Lacertua, Christian Cannibal, Bertuca, Soldatov, Flavio Olivieri, and it's the American-born Singaporean Akshay Bora, Harley Keeble, Yurin Pingasov, Andrea Frasinetti, Brando Badouer on the final row of the grid, alongside Turban Grondal, who qualified grid number 34 by the skin of his teeth, but he's there. He's racing in the 3-1-2 Intrepid. The German out of 34 as we prepare to race the final with the title on the line this afternoon. We will keep you updated throughout the race with the graphic, the virtual championship, which as it stands before the green is Antonelli first on 147, Severukian second on 104, and Martinius third on 90 points. The silver helmet, the bell, the Andretti replica of the American, Ugo on pole position. Ian Salvestrin with you as ever, bringing you our live broadcast on WSK.IT, the WSK Open Cup, the junior final. We'll go round one more time. An extra lap for the Vega tyres to get up to temperature. Our race director, Mr. Alessandro Ferrari, goes out onto the circuit with the sportsmanship flag in his hand, pointing at a couple of drivers that he was absolutely not happy with that. No chance of a start that time. They weave aggressively down the back straight. What a sight this is. Into the right-hander at the far end of the circuit, Castelletto di Branduzzo, surrounded by the 7 lakes, also next door to the 3-kilometre motorcycle car racing circuit as well. 1 hour south of the fashion capital of Europe, that is Milan, in the north of Italy. The second last event of 2019. The junior final before we race in 7 days' time, the final cup at Adria Karting Raceway. Let's try it one more time. Ugo versus Andrea. The fog slowly starting to lift. See if Antonelli can go with the American around the outside. They come up to the line. We race. Andrea tries to sweep into the lead. What a start by Marcus Ahmad. Goes through to take the lead. For VDK Racing, super start from Jimmy James Wharton. Robert DeHaan has made a rocket launch from the 4th row of the grid to go into 3rd place. Marcus Ahmad for VDK Racing, who won this race 12 months ago, leads the opening lap of the race. Antonelli tried to go with, he's absolutely in Nowheresville. Antonelli, he looked lock, stock, secure to take out the title. This will be one cracking race as the French Finn Marcus Ahmad for VDK Racing leads them across the line for the first time. James in 2nd place, Robert 3rd, Severukian 4. Ugo flashes by, he's in P5. Antonelli position 8. This race is on. As it stands, Marcus Ahmad, after the first lap, moves into 2nd in the series, 148 points. We'll keep an eye on that, still a long way to go. Obviously, Andrea picks up the first one, goes by and takes Ahmad Lindblad, the Londoner, who actually took the checkered flag first at Lonato 2 weeks ago before dropping down to 7th with a 5-second nose cone penalty. Ahmad Lindblad falls back to 8th. Antonelli into 7th. Martinius Stensone, last year's WSK Open Cup champion in the mini category. The spot behind, followed by the Singaporean in the Sauber, Christian Ho. So it is a man from Wharton. Robert DeHaan And then the Russian, Artem Severukian. Ugo into 5. Antonelli's just got by Stensonet. Andrea's already into 6th place on the charge. Ugo, though, the fastest driver of the track at the early stage of the race. Antonelli, the firm favourite for this. He's 3 seconds behind the lead from the race, which is being led by the French Finn, Marcus Ahmad. James Wharton, super start from grid number 5, goes into second. He's got a problem. James is out. Oh no, James retires. He just slowed up. Wharton is out. He made that phenomenal start. Everyone else, including Antonelli and Stensone, move up a spot. James Wharton rolls to a stop. He joins Laurens Lesertua and Joel Bergstrom as the 3 retirements from this race thus far. Wharton, who was running in P2, is out. Ahmad now leads from Robert Dehaan. Artem in P4, Ugo 5. In fact, Ugo in 4. And it's Antonelli in position 5. 4th lap of the race. There's the virtual championship to the right of your screen at the moment. Antonelli would take it from Artem Severukian and Marcus Ahmad, but we've still got 3/4 of the race remaining. Marcus Ahmad, he won here 12 months ago. Can he make it 2 in a row at Castelletto di Branduzzo? He is the reigning European champion, racing with a French license, the Finnish flag on his helmet. He's a 50-50 mix. He leads them down the back straight as finally, for the first time this afternoon, the sun comes out to shine. Ahmad for VDK Racing, the multiple world champions. They took the title last year with Victor Benier and in 2016 with Victor Martens. Marcus, who won it here 12 months ago for VDK, leads the way. Robin looks behind in second. Then it's Artem Severukian from Yekaterinburg in Russia for Ward Racing in third. There's Ugo, there is Antonelli. Behind him is Stensonet. So the Team Rosberg Kart Republic drivers 5 and 6. The VDK Racing driver leads the way. Antonelli ominously a 48.9. He's the first driver to dip under the 49-second bracket. Robert looks behind. Artem does likewise. And the driver from New York, USA, Ugo in position 4, a step off the podium, despite starting from pole position. Just behind Martinius, incidentally, Christian Ho, the Singaporean. Nikita Bedrin is behind him. In position 8, Igor Chepil, Arvid Lindblad, Timur Kuharczyk. From Moscow in Russia, Alexander Gubenko, Konrad Larsen, Maxwell Dodds. Up into 14th, and behind him, the boy from Brazil, Matias Ferreira. Severukian so close to the back of Dehaan, just waiting for the opportunity to pounce on the Dutchman. Up the back straight they go. Pushing just over 112, 113 k's an hour, ideally. The Ward Racing Tony Kart behind the Energy Kart. Marcus Ahmad, the IAMI-powered Kart Republic, down the inside. At the end of the Lakeside Straight goes the ruthless racing Russian. Artem Severukian. Robert tries to fight back on the exit. The TM-powered Energy, the Vortex-powered Tony Kart, the IAMI-powered Kart Republic for the Belgian team, the 2-time World Championship winning team. VDK Racing continues to lead by a very healthy 1.3 seconds. Antonelli again a 48.7, the fastest lap of the race. The boy from Bologna closes in on the back of the American, the pole sitter, as we approach the half race distance. Artem looks behind, Robert looks behind, Ugo does not need to look behind. He'll be able to hear the IAMI of Antonelli ranging up behind him. Watch Antonelli try and make the move at the end of the straight. Too far backs, locks it up under brakes. That's where Antonelli made an uncharacteristic mistake yesterday. Nowhere at this time as he goes down the inside. And the Italian goes by the American. He's now one step off the podium after recovering from position 8. Half race distance. Wharton, Lacertua, Joel Bergstrom are out. And unfortunately, they have also been joined by the fourth generation racer, Charlie Wirtz. He's the fourth retirement. Severukian tries to pull away from the battle. He will need to do so because Antonelli is absolutely flying. It's not impossible that Severukian will catch and pass Marcus Ahmad in the second half of the race. But if he loses his opportunity, he'll be passed by not only a repass by Robert de Haan, but also Antonelli, who's left Ugo Jugo behind him. The gap was 1.1 seconds last time. It's down to a second, so Artem takes a tenth out of him. Antonelli, not the best lap last time. Now he's caught up to the back of the Dutchman. He won the 2018 Rotax Max Junior Finals. Ragged coming onto the back of the straight. Robert de Haan taking heat wins yesterday in the WSK Open Cup in OK Junior. There's the field going down the back straight. Cheville, Gubenko, Larsen, Dodds for header. Alfio Spinner, Ariel Elkin from Haifa in the Holy Land of Israel. As Antonelli down the inside, he's onto the podium. A replay of the move he put on Ugo just a few moments ago. Methodical, the WSK Euro Series champion, Andrea Kimi Antonelli for Team Rosberg Kart Republic. After a disastrous start back into 8th, he now fights his way back into 3rd. 6 laps remaining. Bertuca goes through, Soldatov, that was Harley Keeble, I should say. The Northerner for the Tony Kart Racing team, Kasper Stuka for the Speed Kart team. Vavant, Badaware from the back of the grid is behind that battle. Olivieri, Akshay Bora, Frasinetti and Torben Grondal. The German in the Intrepid, still running and rounds out the field as Miran Pingasov, the Russian Spaniard, joins Wirtz, Wharton, Lacertua and Bergstrom as the retirements. With now 5 laps remaining, the gap, it's down to 9/10. Severukian is catching him. There's Martinius going through. Nikita in 7th, head of Lindblad, Kuhachik, Ho, the Singaporean in the Sauber, then it's Cheville. Gubenko trying to fight his way into the top 10. Marcus Ahmad down the back straight for VDK Racing. He's a Frenchman, he's got the Finnish flag on his helmet. He won this race last year. He's a 50-50 mix, regardless of his nationality. And ignore the fact that it's a Belgian World Championship winning team. He's quick and he leads the race here this afternoon. Andrea has come from so far back. The gap was 3 seconds. He's now on the back of the Russian. Just a little bit too far back to make the move this time. Into turn 1, we'll see what he can do down into the chicane. Robert de Haan losing time. Here comes Antonelli. Will he send it? Thought about it. Gets out of the throttle, follows the Russian up the back straight. Artem Severukian being pressured like there's no tomorrow. The Russian looks behind, back to the Italian. Antonelli does likewise to Robert de Haan. The WSK Open Cup here at Castelletto di Branduzzo. Marcus Ahmad, can he hold on or will he be caught? Not only by the Russian, but also the Italian. The series leader about to go down the inside. Antonelli into second place. What a fight back, what a comeback for the WSK Euro Series champion and the driver who seemingly, inevitably, in 3 laps' time, will take out the title of the WSK Open Cup for 2019. Severukian back to 3rd. Antonelli down the back straight. Take a look at the replay, textbook move. That's where he's passed every driver that he's had to fight back, with the exception of Wharton, who was forced to retire on the 2nd lap after running in 2nd place. Antonelli, a purple 2nd sector. Here he comes. This race is not over yet. 2 laps at the end of this one, but Antonelli is like a missile around the 1.2 kilometer Castelletto di Branduzzo circuit. It is so much easier to chase than it is to lead. And he's got the French Finn in his sight. A 48.7 plays a 48.9. Takes 0.2 of a second. out of Marcus Ahmad, the reigning European champion for VDK Racing. Does not flinch, he will not be intimidated. He's got 2 kilometres to the checkered flag to take the win. Antonelli will take the title though. Down the lakeside straight for the second to last time. Not the best sector that time from Antonelli. He is closing the gap. There's Artem Severukin, the Russian. Forward racing in P3. Robert Tahan, Ugo Ugochukwu, and Martinez in position 6. The last lap for the gap was 9 tenths. It's down to 7 tenths. This would be some miraculous comeback, as unlikely as it seems at the moment. The sun comes out to shine on the final lap of OK Junior, the WSK Open Cup here at Castelletto di Branduzzo. This time, finally, Marcus looks behind. Here comes Antonelli, a purple first sector. The boy from the city that bought you the Lamborghini supercar closes in on the back of the driver who won this race 12 months ago. He looks behind again. He's nervous. Surely he's done enough. 2 corners remaining. Antonelli too far back. The checkered flag comes out. He goes 2 years in a row. Marcus Ahmad with a spectacular victory here at Castelletto di Branduzzo. With that, Antonelli second, but takes out the WSK Open Cup title for 2019. A nail-biting race here by the 7 Lakes. Artem Severukin, the Russian home in P3. From Tahan, Ugo 5, Martinez in 6th place, which is exactly where the Norwegian started. What a nail-biting, fantastic race here this afternoon at Castelletto di Branduzzo. Marcus Ahmad won this race in 2018. Now, a year later, almost to the day, Marcus Ahmad, the French Finn, wins for VDK Racing for the 2nd year in a row. The results for you provisional at the moment. Marcus Ahmad, Antonelli in 2nd place, Artem Severukin, Robert Tahan, Ugo P5, Martinez 6, Bedran 7 ahead of Chepel, Lindblad and Christian Ho. Kuhachik finishes ahead of Gubenko, just a spot outside the top 10. And we've just been told by Race Direction that the results are under investigation at the moment, so it is provisional. So we will stay with you. And we will conduct the podiums for OK Junior together with OK at the end of the afternoon. We'll go straight to the mini race in a few moments' time. So the results are provisional. Marcus Ahmad. The podium presentation here this afternoon, a double podium presentation, a triple, in fact a quadruple presentation. Firstly for OK Junior, the race took place a few moments ago, and then the Junior, OK Junior Championship for 2019. The OK Junior final first, the podium for a fantastic race here this afternoon from the Netherlands for Team Energy. In 3rd place, Robert Tahan. Second place for Ward Racing from Russia, Artem Severukin. Il vincitore di nuovo, il bolognese Andrea Antonelli. The 3rd place trophy for Robert Tahan of the Netherlands. 2nd place, Artem Severukin from Russia. The winner of a fantastic OK Junior final from Italy, Andrea Kimi Antonelli. And the national anthem of Italia. final here this afternoon. The Vega caps go on the heads of Robert de Haan in third place from the Netherlands, the Russian Artem Severukin, and the race winner Andrea Kimi Antonelli. The podium for the race here this afternoon will also present the championship trophies for the WSK Open Cup for juniors. So we invite Martens, Artem and Andrea to stay with us here for the moment. Race series starting at South Garda Karting at Lonato 2 weeks ago. Coming home in third place for Team Rosberg, Kart Republic, Lille Didi from Norway, Martens Stensone. Second place from Russia for Ward Racing on 154 points, Artem Severukin. He won the WSK Euro Series and he's just taken out another WSK title on 207 points for Team Rosberg, Kart Republic, Andrea Kimi Antonelli. The third place trophy to Martens Stensone of Norway. Second place to the Russian Artem Severukin. And another victory, another WSK title to Andrea Kimi Antonelli. Congratulations to Martens, Artem and Andrea. We'll see them back in 7 days' time where we race at Adria International Raceway. The last event of 2019, the WSK Final Cup next weekend at Adria Karting Raceway, November the 17th. We'll see Martens, Artem and Andrea there. The final appointment of the season, the WSK Final Cup at Adria, the last race of the decade in 7 days' time. Congratulations, third place in the Open Cup, Martens Stensone, Artem Severukin second, and Andrea Kimi Antonelli.